Hello guys, welcome back to Strike Eagle Models. This is the final reveal video for the Eduard BF109-F4 Tropical in 1/8 scale. I've just done the finishing touches tonight. Over the past few days I've been doing a few little touching up, final touches. I've done the red and green landing lights, and I've used obviously you don't get no clear parts on this kit for the landing light, so what I've done is I used the clear red and clear green, put that on top, and then I finished it off with that stuff. It's a glue for clear parts, and when it dries, it actually dries crystal clear. So I've used that to fix the canopy down at the front and the back. The middle bit I haven't glued that down, so I can lift it out or have it open. And I've also used this on the aerial line to put like little round blobs to indicate like the torque tighteners on the cable, and then I'll go over that with some matte black paint when it's dry. You'll know when this is dry because, as I said, it goes crystal clear, so I've used that for that. I've also put a coat of that over the landing lights to give it like a glass effect, which somebody mentioned to me, and he told me to use this stuff. Luckily I already had this stuff on my shelf, so I just put a coat of that over the landing lights, and it's worked. So I've done that. I touched up the smoke stains what are coming off the exhaust onto the wing. I've done that because if you put a matte coat down, a gloss coat down, sometimes weathering powders won't stick to gloss very well, and just in a little area it wasn't sticking, so I had to wait till I put a matte coat of lacquer down. Then I touched it up where it wasn't covering, and I've done that, and then I've put a matte coat over the top of the exhaust staining. I've done that. I had to take off the mascol off the exhaust, because on this kit you can't stick the exhausts on afterwards, you have to put them in through the fuselage, which makes it a bit of a pain for painting really, because before you could paint them up and then just stick them in afterwards, but on this kit you can't, so I had to mask them. I had to pick all that off with a set of tweezers, and then I've put some dark iron on there, and then finished it off with some black weathering powder to simulate the exhaust soot on the exhaust tips. So I've done that. Obviously I've masked up and painted the canopy. That's done. That's came out okay. I had a little bit of overspray, which get a cotton bud with a bit of white spirits and it comes off, so I've done that. Put the antenna aerial mast on, that's on. Put the back wheel on because the back wheel wasn't on either, that's done. I've got the gun sight, that's done. I just had to paint that black. And then obviously you've got your translucent gun sight, which is translucent, that's on. I had to paint where the exhaust outlet is above the main exhaust itself. There was a strip there that had to be like a gunmetal dark iron sort of colour. So I had to hand paint that on tonight. Yeah, it's all done. Few little issues with it. One, the landing gear legs are for some reason are different sizes, so I had to basically take one of the legs out that I'd already glued in and shortened it on the peg at the top that goes into the undercarriage to make it sit level. So that's done. I don't understand why it was like that, I don't know. Where you put the aerial mast into the canopy, there was no hole for it, so I had to get one of my micro drill bits and drill a hole through the top of the canopy, so that go in. Obviously I had to clamp one of the wings because it just would not sit flush. So there was that. There was a little problem with some of the decals, they weren't very clear. Even when there's like a stencil sheet on the other page, which I managed to find, it still didn't show all the decals on there. It showed, like, on one it showed, for an example, one of the red triangles on the front, it actually showed a stencil and then showed 3 different variants of stencil that you could put on there with a question mark. So that's like, it's just guessing which one it is. Apart from those few issues, that was it really. Oh yeah, and as I said, there was no landing light clear parts, which you thought there would have been, but there isn't. Apart from those 4 or 5 things, minor things. Oh, and the tail, where you fit the aerial line to, obviously it shows that it's got like a little nib that you can connect it to on the tail. Well, that was snapped off when I actually opened the box. But what I've done is I've used a micro drill bit. I put a really small hole through the tail and threaded the line through, and it actually looks better than sticking it on. I could have got the tip of a cocktail stick and stuck that on and put the aerial line to that and then painted that the same colour as the aircraft, but that actually looks better, what I've done there. So I might even try and drill the aerial mast on the next kit I do. I don't know how it works. Yeah, so the final reveal, pictures and everything with this video will be released tomorrow. Frankie Day is said about doing a group build on the 1/32 scale Spitfire by Revell, which I've already mentioned in my last video. I know Martin's doing a D-Day buddy build, so I'm thinking if I've got the right variant of Spitfire, I can use it for 2 group builds. If I've got a 1944 scheme or variant on that kit, which I haven't looked at yet, I can put it in for the D-Day 75th anniversary group build, what's hosted by Martin Lamont, and I'll also do it for the mini group build that me and Frankie Day are doing as well. So I killed 2 birds with 1 stone with that one, and it'll be my first group build I've entered in a long time. Right then guys, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next video, which will be, I'll probably do an inbox review to start off with on the 1/32 scale Revell Spitfire, and we'll go from there. Thank you very much guys, toodaloo.